88, DN 11.5.
Back in the money pit area,
Thank you, Colton.
No problem.
Top of 88, so we got 78 to 88. Let's see what it's giving us. Let's slice and dice.
Charles Barkhouse and geologist Terry Matheson are closely monitoring the drilling of borehole DN 11.5 now that it has reached the possible treasure zone between 80 and 120 feet deep.
Hey, Charles. Hey, Ian.
Hey, Ian, how you doing?
How you doing, Terry?
Not too bad. Good to see you. We're down DN 11.5. We're down 78 to 88 feet. We're getting
Really
close.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Whoa. I think I'm gonna pull this up. Just broke through something. Let's take a measurement on the pipe.
Ready?
What's going on over there?
Saying we're open 1.5 feet.
How we doing?
Hey, guys. So,
What's going on over there?
I was doing my run to 100,
Right.
right at about 90 feet. Broke through something.
Wow. You got an open space 90 feet below grade?
Right. There's a void down there.
Wow.
So we're just going to talk this over and think
Yeah.
how we're going to proceed. We're definitely going to want you to pause.
All right.
I think we better get Rick and Marty up here.
Sure.
And give them a call.
Absolutely.
We on pause, brah.
Hold on. Hey, Rick.
Whenever you get a call from the Money Pit drill program, you're excited. DN 11.5 is actually within the so-called treasure zone. The treasure zone we know has high gold values. We know the introduction of trapped air. We know voids in the area. It's exciting.
Rick's here now.
So you found it and I can go home.
Well, we got something interesting going on here. Mike?
Colton?
Hey, guys.
Hey, loading the table.
Judging by the people gathered here, something happened.
When I walked up, everybody was smiling. What's going on?
Come on down.
What do we got?
Mike, why don't you tell us what you saw or hit?
Right about 90 feet, I could feel the rods break through something, and it was open about 1.5 feet past my rods. So whatever I cored through probably fell out into this void.
So what is this?
This DN 11.5, it really seems to line up. DN 12.5 and DN 13.5, all in that east-west alignment, all have hit a structure at 94 feet below grade. Mike hitting this right now at about 90, that says perhaps we're at the top of the tunnel.
because the team has recently encountered a believed tunnel at this same depth in 2 other nearby boreholes, which all line up with the garden shaft. Could Terry Matheson be correct that they have intercepted another section of the structure? If so, could it be related to the large amount of gold that has been detected within the baby blob?
You've got to affirm whether or not it is a tunnel. And the only way to learn that is to pull the core.
Exactly.
Time matter.
Get us some core.
Time to find some treasure. Go get it, guys. Thanks.
Every time a bit goes down, every time we encounter a void, your first thought is this might lead us somewhere. To the long sought after answers, the long sought after treasure.
Beauty.
Every single time. If we were to encounter a tunnel in close proximity to this shaft, or even at the base of this shaft, that's a real aha moment.
Got some? Got a big one.
Thank you.
All right, where'd you set down?
The end is 98.5.
Where did your void end?
The void ended at 97.
You had that much?
There's some wood, Terry.
Whoa,
we got wood
lots
at the
of wood.
bottom here. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, we're into something.
It's all through there.
There's a pretty solid chunk in the middle of it.
There's wood all through this core.
I'm just gonna squeeze in there and get a wood sample. This sample right here, we don't need much. That sample should be fine. We're just going to send it in the lab really quickly just to see if there's metals in that wood.
Later that afternoon,
Laird,
So we have something to see?
Yes.
Rick Lagina and Craig Tester join Laird Niven and archaeometallurgist Emma Culligan in the Oak Island Interpretive Center for a highly anticipated scientific report.
We've got the XRF results from DN 11.5.
Oh, good. This definitely appears to be a tunnel, and it sure points towards the garden shaft. And then this specific area is where, we've got a number of the most likely treasure area.
so-called treasure location.
Yeah,
Really?
this will be interesting to see what we see on this.
Over the past 24 hours, the wood sample recovered one day ago from borehole DN 11.5, which came from a believed tunnel some 90 feet deep that may be connected to the garden shaft, was dried out and then scanned by Emma using the X-ray fluorescence spectrometer, or XRF, a device that bombards objects with gamma rays, which can detect additional elements or metals that may be found on or within them.
Emma, so what are we seeing?
So we are seeing some very small quantities, so I had to do a lot of double checking. So all those are expected materials from our Oak Island. We have a lot of iron, manganese, titanium, calcium, potassium, aluminum. So these are all common things. Those are all what I would expect.
Naturally occurring.
Yeah, very natural.
Yeah.
But we are seeing some quantities of gold.
It shows gold.
Yeah, it's there.
Gold is the outlier.
Gold is yes, it's a very big outlier.
That's remarkable. Now we have singularly unique results from the application of that concept in two different modems, if you will, in the wood and in the water. That's fantastic.
Yeah.
And this might connect you to where the treasure may be. This might connect you to a direction that you need to go. This is becoming very impactful.
The narrative's still going on.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
The gold sampling of the water and now the wood is probably the thing that might carry the day this year. I mean, that was the hope. It was always the hope that it would lead to a location where we could do some exploratory drilling or digging and hopefully find the one thing. Will we find the treasure at the bottom of the garden shaft? I'm very hopeful. This might be the start of evidence, an evidence trail that's every bit as important as the water sampling has been to date.
Sure.
So we mustn't falter. What we always say is you won't find samples in here in the lab. Here's where you come up with the answers.
Yep.
So we'll get you more samples.
All right.
All righty?
Sounds good.
Okay.
Hey, guys.
Hey.
As another exciting day dawns on Oak Island,
Rumor is you guys tested that the metal we found in D2. Is this true?
And we're about to tell you.
brothers Rick and Marty Lagina, their partner Craig Tester, and members of their team are conducting a strategic drilling operation in the Money Pit area that they hope will help them solve a 226-year-old mystery.
We used XRF in 2 samples. The XRF came up with gold.
Gold.
Not just gold.
Yeah.
Percentage is extremely high. 700 parts per million.
Oh, wow.
Something in
there's
there.
something in there. Might be it.
1 week ago, after discovering wood from a depth of 88 feet in borehole D2, which was then carbon dated to as early as 1488, the team unearthed a mysterious piece of metal.
Yeah, it's a big chunk of metal right there.
I'm just gonna throw it on and see what we get.
When geoscientist Dr. Ian Spooner performed elemental analysis on it using an X-ray fluorescence device, Rick and members of the team were astonished by what they had found.
Hey, you. There it is.
There it is.
Hey, you. We got gold again.
Wow. It's a piece of metal that may have been either in close contact with gold, or it could be even more interesting, i.e., that the metals themselves contain gold. And to me, if it's part of the metal, that's far more interesting. That means that it's a valuable item.
Based in an area known as the C1 cluster, where recent water tests in existing boreholes have revealed high levels of silver and gold. The team has designed a strategic drilling grid in the hopes of pinpointing the fabled Money Pit treasure vault. Now, the next target on that grid is borehole B4, which sits just 14 feet from D2.
The C1 cluster, it just sounds like the right spot. Gold on the steel, that's very encouraging. If it's accurate that the gold is on the metal and that there are just no natural sources, then I'd say we're closing in on the treasure.
Terry, you have the grid, as I'd like to get brought up to speed here.
We are here on B4, but this hole in particular is at the northern perimeter or edge of the C1 cluster of tunnels.
Yeah.
If we find evidence of tunnels, there we go. Now we get something more to chase.
It is also in this area that the team has previously drilled into a believed tunnel at a depth of approximately 90 feet. If the team is unsuccessful finding treasure in B4, then they hope to hit a tunnel that will lead them to it.
And we have to concentrate on the areas where we do know there is possible tunnels and kind of zero in on that.
Yeah, look, I'm not going to disagree. This information is too exciting. It's certainly worth chasing. It's kind of like Christmas morning, right? It's not always about Christmas morning. It's what leads up to Christmas morning, and we're not there yet. But we certainly know there's packages under the tree. Anyway, keep us abreast.
See you guys. Thanks for the news.
You got to hope that we might be very close to something.
All right.
Let's find something.
All right.
Rick Lagina joins heavy equipment operator Billy Gerhardt, metal detection expert Gary Drayton, and Jack Begley, just east of the Money Pit on Lot 18. They are continuing to search through the mounds of earth known simply as the Dunfield spoils.
Let's find some good stuff.
Back in 1965, when Robert Dunfield dug a massive 100-foot wide by 140-foot deep hole in a failed attempt to recover the legendary Money Pit treasure vault, he left behind tons of earth that was never searched for possible clues or valuables.
What'd you find, Gary?
I think it's a chisel, by the look of it.
1 week ago, Gary Drayton recovered a potentially ancient metal artifact within them.
Can you pull that level off? Back?
Yep.
Now, as the team continues looking for any valuables that may have been left behind, they are also hoping to discover key evidence that could help them decide where to dig one or more of their own 10-foot wide shafts later this year in the Money Pit.
Mr. Dunfield did not go through his stuff very closely. He didn't have all these people looking at everything that we're looking at. So it's a fruitful operation to go through these spoil piles, and it's a must-do.
You see that near the bottom? See the wood?
There's some right there in the bank.
Yeah.
Oh.
There's definitely bits of wood.
You found something, Rick?
I don't know. You can come down if you want and metal detect it.
Okay, on my way down. Okay, mate. Let's see if there's anything here. Nope, nothing at the moment. I'll do that little area. Yeah, there's plenty of iron just there. In fact, there's plenty of iron ore in that layer. I'll try pinpointing it. What's in there?
That's a big spike.
Yeah, and it's very, very heavy. You feel how heavy it is, Jack? That's heavy, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. Heavy metal.
With it being so heavy, you'd have to assume that is old.
Yeah. See if there's anything else there.
Okay, I'll recheck it.
Maybe another piece of it.
Yeah. It's just so chirpy all over the place. That's more substantial there. It's there. Yeah.
Iron, though, right?
Yeah, it's iron at the moment. It's there.
Is that thing?
It's there, yeah.
There's wood that's jammed on top of it now. Whoa, whoa.
It's a big
That's
timber.
a big timber.
That's a massive timber. So that'll be a massive fastener. I'm detecting it, it's there. That's a screamer, mate. And it's still in the timber, so we'd be able to date that timber by the fastener.
Yep.
That's a big timber, isn't it?
Let's see that shovel, Jack.
Oh, sure.
We know this came from somewhere in the money pit. So now we can, as you said, chase it backwards, maybe in time.
Exactly.
Could this large wooden timber be a critical clue for the Oak Island team? Perhaps even evidence of the original treasure shaft itself? If so, is it possible that Robert Dunfield pinpointed where the vault lies buried back in 1965, but just couldn't reach it?
One more scoop, then we'll take a look. Pull it back, Bill. Let's see what it shows.
Going this way?
Yep. These things from long ago, and I do believe they're from long ago, that's exactly what you should be seeing. It confirms in my mind that we are indeed in the original money pit spoils. But what is it? Why is it there? Who built it?
So let's find some history, mate.
Metal detection expert Gary Drayton,
Winkle a good find.
along with Jack Begley and heavy equipment operator Billy Gerhardt, continue searching through the nearby spoils excavated from the money pit by Robert Dunfield back in 1965.
See the little bits of wood there, though, in that bucket, Jack? It's consistently wood. And if you go a little further to your right, in the bucket, there's that real dark wood.
And it's right at the bottom.
It's right in those rocks, right? So you can see me, you saw me scraping the rocks, You see the wood, that is right at that layer.
That cut looks intentional, don't you think?
Oh yeah, no, it's cut.
It's hand-hewn.
It's too thick for dimensional too, right?
A hand-hewn or manually cut timber? Because mechanized cutting tools, such as the circular saw, were not commonly used in construction until the late 18th century, could this hand-cut wooden beam be potential evidence of the original money pit shaft? If so, what else might be waiting to be found in the so-called Dunfield spoils?
You mind if I poke around down there a little bit?
Just go around to the other end and walk down that slope, right?
Okay.
I'll come down there and detect. Because this is spoils just going all the way up. Right, now if we do find anything here...
Yeah, nail or anything would be good to find here, Gary.
You're getting a hit already?
Yeah, it's in this. Is it that? Yep, it is. It's a cribbing spike.
That one's probably really old.
Yeah, I mean, anywhere where we've been at a good depth, we find these oldest cribbing spikes. And of course, we can have it tested. See if it's, you know, pre-1830s, 1840s, but it's got some F to it as well.
That's a good point.
A cribbing spike is an iron fastener that was used to connect two pieces of wood together, normally associated with tunnels or shafts. This cribbing spike could actually be part of the original construction of the money pit. All right, mate, I'll put this in my pouch and keep going. All right, mate, let's see what else is down here.
Yeah.
Hang on, Billy, I might have a signal here.
Something good, Gary?
What the heck is that?
What'd you find, Gary?
I think it's a chisel, by the look of it.
Here, come show us.
It's got some F to it. To me, it looks like a chisel. I don't believe it's a spike. Feel how heavy that is. It's an oldie because it's got some F to it.
Yeah.
Well, what would you use a chisel like that for?
It's hard to say, Jack, what they were using it for.
Yeah, to me, a chisel like that is for doing the finer work.
I agree with Bill on that. It's not to break rocks, it's for detail work.
Yeah, this is a good candidate to be depositor related.
Maybe.
You know the history of the carved stones on Oak Island, mate?
Yes.
ever since the Oak Island mystery began 226 years ago. Searchers have found a number of mysterious carved stones, both on the surface and buried deep below ground. Perhaps the most notable of those was the legendary 90-foot stone, discovered at that depth in the Money Pit back in 1804. The greenish-gray slab reportedly had a series of strange hieroglyphic symbols carved across it, which were translated to read, 40 feet below, 2 million pounds are buried. Although the stone has been missing since the early 1900s, is it possible that the team may have discovered the tool that was used to carve its cryptic message in the spoils that were excavated from the Money Pit more than half a century ago?
Well, we'll definitely get it checked out. I mean, it's
Yeah,
not
for sure.
written in stone what it is, but it,
No pun intended.
it looks like an end-point chisel to me.
Good job, Gary.